Say that
What's
again.
going on? What's going on, Sadibou?
Good. How you doing?
Good and yourself?
Good, my man.
Yeah. Obviously, man, you're back again in the playoffs. You're looking to head back to the championship, doing the back to back, as Drake would say in his songs. Talk to me about this matchup and what it would mean to get another $1 million and another belt to your legacy.
Uh, Great question. A lot of a lot of things to break down. First and foremost, happy to be back in the playoffs, um, where I belong, obviously. This matchup is nothing new. We faced each other last semifinals. Um, I believe I'm much better in terms of my mindset. I'm much more. I don't know if the right word is like bald, but I'm not afraid to go for things right now. I feel at home in the cage, so I believe that makes me a more different, a more dangerous fighter, I should say. I like the matchup. Carlos Leal is a gamer. He brings out the best in me in training. I've been training very hard. He's gonna bring it, but I just believe that stylistically, I'm a nightmare for him.
And of course,
And sorry. The other part about like for me, when I started mixed martial arts, I started with kickboxing and Muay Thai. I was just a young kid trying to push myself, right? And then starting to compete and actually like becoming world champion and starting to gain experience in the sport actually made me believe that I can be great in the sport. So for me, being able to build on my legacy and do something iconic is something that I'm striving for. And I have 5 world titles right now, and I want to have double digits. So uh, on Wednesday will be the continuance, or if that's a word, on going for number 6.
all right, and to touching that to your skill set, obviously you've been a huge staple in PFL. You know, you started at 185 and you came down to the 170 scene and, you finally captured that title. And, people thought you were one trick pony. Like, okay, you're just a great striker, but now your skill set has evolved on a whole. Like, man, they can't even take it down like at ease anymore. You got some great grappling defense and also have wrestling implemented into your game. Talk to me your overall progression, not just in PFO, but your career and your in the sport.
Yeah, that's a great question, and thank you for acknowledging that. To be honest, because that's something that I pride myself on. I work very hard, and me and my coaches and my teammates we work hard, pushing and seeing where we need to be and what we need to do to evolve. I've said it when I started fighting in mixed martial art that I don't want to be a striker with takedown defense. I want to be a mixed martial artist, a complete fighter, and I believe that's what I'm working towards. And I said last season that this year and next year I will start entering my prime. I believe that I still have a lot to gain. I'm gonna get better and better, and obviously the wrestling and taking people down and being able to control that part of the fight as well as something that I've been spending a lot of time on, and I'm proud that it actually shows in the fights.
That's good, man. And to my last question, obviously, many people know or don't know, you've been called the sweetest Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
So, how iconic would it be for you to fight in front of Denzel himself and possibly meet him? And also, are you going to see the Equalizer 3 that's coming out soon?
I'm definitely gonna go and see Equalizer 3. And I didn't quite hear you. Did you ask me if I fought in front of him or if I want to fight in front of him?
Of course, you want to fight in front of him. What would that mean to you to fight in front of Denzel Washington and also
Oh,
meeting
that
him?
would be great. That would be great. And even better would be if he started to call himself the sweetest Sadibou.
I love that. I love that. Man, thank you for your time, man. And best of luck to you. All right.
Marty.
Hey, Sadibou, how's it going? This is Madi from Wisda Sports Media.
How you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. First and foremost, obviously, this matchup with Carlos Leal is a rematch of last year's first round of the playoffs. How, if at all, does the preparation change from the first fight to now?
Um, we looked at a lot of opportunities that we had during the first fight that we didn't capitalize on. So we've been working a lot on small specific things that we've been seeing opportunities, and obviously where spots where he had success. We've been working towards limiting those mistakes that I did to allow him to have that. So not too much, to be honest, because I still but the devil is in the details. So small things that makes huge differences, I should say.
Absolutely. And one thing that we've seen a difference in from last season to this season in Carlos Leal is this season he's come out with a little bit more aggression and has shown the capability in finishing fights. Uh, do you sense a little bit more danger in Carlos this time around compared to the first fight?
No, same danger. He just hasn't fought me.
Love the response. Last but not least, you're always the calmest person in the room. I did ask you about this in person, but for those that missed out, can you tell us how you manage to stay so calm and just so you're always smiling? That's the one thing that we always tend to notice.
Yeah, thank you for noticing. To be honest, like everything, like this is what I do. This is my profession, and I put everything into it, right? But this is still like this is not who I am. This is just fighting, right? So don't get me wrong. I want this more than anything in the world, right? But I'm blessed to be in the position that I am, right? I traveled from Sweden. I now live in Las Vegas with my wife. Gonna have a kid in a couple of months. Um, and like I'm getting paid good money to do something that I love, that I'm great at, and being able to inspire and motivate people. Uh, Come on, man. Like, what's not to smile about?
Awesome. And I know I said the last question was the last one, but I've been asking every fighter this one. Post-fight meal, what do you have planned?
Say that again.
What do you have planned for your post-fight meal?
Ooh,
You are in New York, so
man. So if you know anything about me, you know that I love food. So it's gonna be a pizza or a burger, something. But I'm not sure yet. I have a couple of spots that that I have to check out.
awesome. Thank you so much, Sadibou. See you Wednesday.
Corey.
Hey, Sadibou. When I spoke to you before your last fight, I asked about the support from Sweden. Has there been any more support from Sweden after your last highlight reel performance?
How you doing, man? Yeah, like Sweden and Senegal, I try to represent both. Obviously, for PFL, they push Sweden a little bit more, but I always try to make sure I represent both Sweden and Senegal. And yeah, like the support is amazing from Sweden. And I believe I've had a great support throughout my career, but it's growing and growing, and it will become even more, I believe.
All right, Mills, last question.
What's going on, Swedish Denzel, MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm blessed. Can't be stressed. All right, so I was able to talk to you last time about media. We talked about some things. I'm going to bring up one of those questions a little bit later, but how can we just not talk about the obvious 6-fight win streak? Last fight going viral with that spinning wheel kick knockout. Can you talk to me a little bit about your last 2 wins on how you were able to finish your opponents compared to your other 4 wins to where you went the decision? Did anything change in your training? Did your coach start, beating you up a little bit more? Or did your wife just tell you, hey, it's time to get that bacon for this baby?
Well, to be honest, you were on the right track. Last season was, for me, I made a move from Sweden to Las Vegas. And for me, it was just finding my way back to winning. Because when I fought in kickboxing and Muay Thai, like I was always winning. I was winning fights. Like I always find a way to win. I knew what I needed to do to win. When I started with mixed martial arts, like even though I was winning, I was like winning 2, losing 1, winning 3, losing 1, and that was not something that I was accustomed to. So I needed to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to win each fight? And that's what you saw last season. Me and my teammates and my coaches, we focused on exactly what we needed to do to win the fights. Now, when we have that on lock and we actually approached all the different holes that I believe that I had in my game, and we worked on those. And now I have the confidence and the skill set to go out and be a little bit more free. And as long as I'm free, that's danger for my opponents.
Got it. And yeah, so we talked about this last time in Media Day. Wasn't able to put the clip out, but we were talking about, former organizations, champions versus champions. And it seems like everybody was mentioning the other champions and not the PFL champions. I brought that up with you and you said, it's about time that, you guys start getting mentioned for champions versus champions. With that being said, it looks like some other organizations might be joining the PFL later down in the future, so we might actually get that opportunity for champions versus champions. But let's just make your claim to fame. Hey, tell everybody out there right now why you're the best pretty much PFL champion, and you'll take on any champion out there that wanted to try their ranks and get that $1 million tournament.
Man, great question, and I appreciate you lifting me up, because I believe that I work too hard to put no one above me in terms of the fights, right? So I focus solely on my fight now, but if the opportunity presents itself for me to fight another champion, I would take that on, and I would be victorious, and I promise you that.
Got it. And last but not least, I heard you're just about to be a father, so I want to welcome you to the best hood there is, and that's fatherhood.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. Good luck. Can't wait to see you fight this Wednesday. Best of luck, best of skill.
Appreciate that.